Hello, everyone. My name is Adriana Blanco. We're so pleased to be here. I'm one of the founders and directors of the North Carolina Brazilian Arts Project. We're so grateful to be included in TEDx today, Greensboro. So I just wanted to start off by introducing a little bit about ourselves. We are a collective of dancers, movers, martial artists, and musicians that have fallen in love with African Brazilian culture. And specifically, we're going to be manifesting for y'all today Capoeira, which is an African Brazilian martial art. We're going to be demonstrating some of the instruments that are used in Capoeira. And we're also going to be showing all of you a little bit of Samba no Pé from Rio de Janeiro, so from Rio in Brazil. So if you could please give our capoeiristas a warm welcome as they demonstrate some of their movements and some of their instruments. I will be talking a little bit about some of the instruments and what they mean and where they come from as we get started. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed. So before the capoeiristas go off stage, I wanted to talk a little bit about the instrument, specifically the berimbau, which Juan Pablo, he came out and he was demonstrating this really important instrument in the capoeira. Capoeira is an African-Brazilian martial art that was created as a means of resistance against oppression. So the people that were forced from Africa into slavery in Brazil, they used their knowledge of martial arts and music and communication through drumming to communicate with each other, because there were so many different types of people that were forced from Africa. Many of them didn't speak the same languages, they didn't have the same spiritual practices, but they were all forced together. So they used these movements, these martial movements, disguised in the dance, or some would say the dance was always there. There's no need to disguise the martial aspect, the dance is enough, to actually resist the oppression and the enslavement that they were forced under. So there are many established communities in Brazil, much here like in the United States, maroon communities that were created because of the successful resistance movements of capoeiristas. And so I wanted to make sure we talked about the berimbau, which was the instrument that Juan came out with. It has a gourd. That is an instrument that comes from Africa, and it was brought, and the memory of it was brought to Brazil. And so this is the instrument that guides the capoeiristas and communicates with them and tells them how to move, if someone's coming, if they need to be quiet, if they need to celebrate, if it's time to really fight. It's a form of communication. The drums were also very useful for that during those times. And so what we've put together for you here is trying to bring these rich cultural practices, these really important cultural practices to the stage, right? So what you see is just a really small tidbit of what the world of capoeira really is. Samba is another resistance art form that was created by African Brazilians. The rhythms, and also I need to make sure that I mention indigenous Brazilians have a very important contribution and part of the capoeira and of samba rhythms and of dance as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to focus a little bit on the city of Rio and the way that samba, this particular dance form, is now being danced there. They're going to start by doing a choreography for you all with a very famous song called Maculelê that they're going to do a beautiful choreography. So whenever our amazing tech team is ready, they are going to put that song on and they're going to start when it's time. Thank you.
Vem Magalenha, rojão, traz a lenha pro fogão, vem fazer armação. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria de coió, é curtir o verão. Tê, 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 tê. Meu dever de verão. Vem Magalenha, rojão, traz a senha pro fogão, TT coração. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria do xodó, meu dever de verão. TT, TT, TT. Pra senhora se lembrar daquele tempo que vivia na roça com uma filha na barriga e outra filha pra criar. Cada da pretinha, tô cantando essa modinha pra senhora se lembrar daquele tempo que vivia na roça com uma filha na barriga e outra filha pra criar. Tê, 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 tê. Vem Magalenha, rojão, traz a senha pro fogão, TT coração. Alegria, meu xodó, meu dever de verão. Ei, Magalenha, traz a senha pro fogão, TTT coração. Hoje é um dia de sol, alegria de xodó, meu bebê de verão. TTT.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about Samba. So this isn't exactly how Samba started. Samba has been around for just as long as Capoeira has been, and historically it's been known to actually have been practiced as a resistance and joy practice after spiritual ceremonies. So after spiritual and religious ceremonies, there would be this time to kind of relax, to eat, and so the community would get together and they would just sing their songs and dance. And so the way it started was with long skirts, women in kitchens using knives and plates, dancing barefoot, and dancing to this beat. So now we're going to play a few different samba rhythms, miudinho and samba enredo. This is something that you would see more now in modern times, especially if you were to go to Rio in preparation for Carnival.